The WWE is on the road to Night of Champions, which means the King and Queen of the Ring, which also means Evolution, which also means that SummerSlam's right around the corner. Hey, did you know there's Saturday night's main event? Boy, wasn't Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank awesome? It never stops in the WWE, and unfortunately, that sometimes leads to plans going awry. And that is the big story, I think, coming out of Raw, is the injury to Liv Morgan. It's a freak accident. Like, it's Kairi Sane going for just a dragon screw, and Liv Morgan kind of taking you've all seen it by now, and dislocates her shoulder. It sucks, right? Like, it is such a freak accident. It is at the worst time. And so, like, you hope that she is okay, first and foremost, right? Like, you hope that, like, mentally she's doing all right, physically she's doing okay, all those different things. You just hope all of that is fine. Career-wise, the timing couldn't be worse. She is on an incredible roll, and it really felt like she had found her character in the last, like, 18 months. And it just, like, every week she's getting better and better and more comfortable and working through all of that. So to have this happen now is really unfortunate. And she is involved in so much right now. Setting up something with Io Sky on Monday. There is the obvious tension with the Judgment Day storyline and Roxy, and then potentially Raquel getting thrown in as well. By the way, has a match coming up with one of the most famous women's wrestlers of all time in Nikki Bella at Evolution. So she had a couple of things on the dance card here, and now all of that kind of goes away. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the WWE kind of pivots off of this, and I'm going to be very fascinated to see how the WWE handles this situation. I have a couple of ideas on that. Going to discuss them in a separate video a little bit later. And for podcast listeners, it's going to be in a different spot. We are introducing this week, I'm promising, I said this a couple weeks ago, but promising this week, introducing a new podcast. It is going to be Living Room Lariats. It's going to be an accumulation of all the wrestling podcasts that we do here on Couch Potato, like all the wrestling content in one spot weekly. And then there's going to be some original stuff on that as well. If you're watching on YouTube in Daily Motion, those clips are still going to be here. But if you want all the wrestling in one place, because I know not all wrestling fans are sports fans, so want to do this for the wrestling folks out there, check out Living Room Lariats. And again, that will be coming out. It's not up yet, so don't go rushing to subscribe or anything. Keep it locked to my social medias for all of that. But going to be some more wrestling content coming from me. Elsewhere on Monday Night Raw, Gunther is next as Goldberg calls out Gunther for Saturday night's main event. They set this up a while ago, even going so far back as the Calgary show at the end of last summer, where Gunther tells Bret Hart that his favorite wrestler was Goldberg, which, by the way, elite promo. Oh, that was so funny. I loved every bit of that. Thought it was amazing. So, yeah, that was fun. It has been a build up to this point, so there's at least a bit of a story here. I'm a huge Goldberg mark, so you're not going to be saying, oh, how does this guy deserve a championship opportunity? He's Goldberg, man. I don't know, deal with it. Is this match going to be awesome? It is not. I don't think that this match will end up onto the greatest hits of Gunther anytime. It has a better opportunity of ending up on Botchamania, to be perfectly honest with you. But I still, it's Goldberg. I'm happy to see the whole production of all of it. Hear the music again. Hear him scream, "You're next," at people. Love it. Absolutely love it. And so I'm excited. Was it concerning to see the 58-year-old man who was coming back for a world title match limp to the ring on Monday? It was. Yes, it was. Yep, 100%. But I'm still going to watch. And I'm still going to love Goldberg. And if the match sucks, I will immediately then put on the best of Goldberg from somewhere and just watch him just spear the hell out of people for a while and throw him on the video games and all of that. So we'll be fine. We'll get through this one together, shall we? So I have no real concerns about this at all. Asuka moves on in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Her match with Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, and Stephanie Vaquer. Really fun. Really good match. They gave Asuka the video treatment last week. They kind of spoiled it with the graphic. I still think a surprise here would have been more fun. Like, she being, you have a surprise on the men's side, a surprise on the women's side. Asuka the surprise here. I think you would have got a huge reaction. And I think you would have got an even bigger reaction to her winning. And I think that would have been pretty exciting. I think the one reason to not is that it is in the bracket with Stephanie Vicaire. And so everyone would just be assuming, okay, well, Stephanie's winning this, and then going on to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so you do risk running into a lot of people being excited about Stephanie, and then that getting taken away. But I still think that probably would have been the way to go. Either way, it was a fun match. Asuka is good as ever. The face paint is elite. All of it is, it's a fun character that they have going on right now. I think Ivy Nile deserves more of an opportunity. Performers are like her are the reason why they made the Intercontinental Championship on the women's side. And we'll get to it in a second. I do like the Bayley Becky thing for Evolution and onward. But once that picture gets kind of sorted, I do think that Nile needs to be more involved in a few things here. We continue the Raquel Rhea feud. They have forever rivals feel to them, don't they? Right? Like, I think that with the right storytelling, you can get this pretty quickly to feeling like a blood feud going into Evolution with all the history they have from that they told coming up together and at NXT and now on the main roster as well. There's a lot of history there. So there's a big story that you can tell with that. And then Stephanie Vicaire continues to just have it. The crowd, it loves her. The matches are great. The Devil's Kiss has turned into the highlight spot of the night for various reasons for various people. But using it in creative ways now on the ladder and on the apron, she's a star. She is just a star, and it's exciting to see now kind of where she is going. So I'm hoping we get an actual feud for her to really sink her teeth into. Quite frankly, if Io is a heel, I would say just give her the title now. And you guys know what I think of Io. At least put her in a feud there. So I'm interested to see what the first real feud is for Stephanie Vicaire. Also in the women's division, mentioned it before, Becky and Bayley. I thought they had a really good promo battle here. You have two vets who are very comfortable with each other. They are very good, and it's a nice and easy build for them. This should be a really good match at Evolution. I am very much looking forward to seeing what we get out of these two. Honestly, I think you could close the show with it. You know, like at first that seems a little, but think about it. We're talking about Evolution here. What's been the evolution in the women's division in the next little bit? It would be rude to say, hey, they're much more awesome than they were then. Probably. But the real tangible evolution that you have are these new belts. And you have two of your biggest stars wrestling for them. So why not? Why not put them in the main event there to really highlight the evolution that this company has had in the women's division? The Lyra part of this is interesting. She confronts Bayley, backstage. And I had just kind of assumed these two were going to be teammates going into WrestleMania. So they are now teaming up here. And that's not really the case. You had Lyra saying, I'm going to do what's best for you. You did what's best for you. I'm going to do what's best for me. It had a hint of a heel turn there. I don't think that would be the best way to use her, but it's an interesting wrinkle. And either way, I just don't want her getting lost in the wash here. She is a very good performer. She is figuring this character out a little bit, and I think needs more seasoning around that. So just, She needs to be involved more because there's a star there somewhere. Jey Uso advances in the King of the Ring tournament. It was a fun match. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but they obviously have a star in Jey Uso right now. The crowd is so into him. The merch sales are insane. You have to go with this guy still, right? So I actually think getting him away from the scrutiny of the world title picture is going to be beneficial to him. And I think that will definitely help him out. It gives him a little bit more flexibility with what you can do with the character. No question that a main eventer has been built in Jey Uso, and now it is just a case of what direction they go from here. We got Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn facing off in the back. I still think that the way to go about this is to have Sami Zayn head out. He is going for his title opportunity. It's in Saudi Arabia, where there's obviously a lot of history there. And now, what does he... What can he get over this hump and get to a title opportunity against the guy who he has beaten for a championship before, presumably, in Gunther? Can you do that? Instead, he loses to a guy who's supposed to be his friend in Cody. And it is the heartbreak that kind of turns him a little bit. I will say, I think there's an interesting angle where Karrion Kross helps Sami Zayn, and we have another. Now it's another heel faction on Raw, but we have another heel group, and Sami Zayn sees the dark side. I think there are different ways you can go, but I do think that Sami getting to the King of the Ring final and losing his championship opportunity is a very good storytelling device going forward. I will say though, it's probably the last big loss you can do without there being a significant change to the character going forward here. So that's where we are at right now with him. Other notes here: they edited the Punk Cena promo brilliantly. It was a bit of a choppy one on SmackDown, but we got the ultimate messaging out, and the Punk line of you can say you're gonna drag me out of my comfort zone. I would go to hell to wrestle you for that championship to prove that I'm better than you. These two are so good at building these up. I am still not looking forward to what that match looks like, says the hypocrite who's excited for Goldberg, but I am excited to see how this build goes in the next week and a bit. And then AJ Styles pushes toward the Intercontinental title against Dom. He beats JD McDonough. I thought that the stuff with the Judgment Day and Finn, it's becoming really entertaining. And Finn just being an asshole, basically, is a character that has worked for him. So they have found something with that. And honestly, if they put the IC title on AJ, not breaking my heart. I would kind of like that. And one last note here. I thought Corey Graves was great on commentary. I could really see a 3-man booth with him, Cole, and McAfee being something that would work together pretty well. So overall, it was a good Raw, not a great Raw. And they are certainly building to something here in the next little bit. Again, if you want more wrestling talk, look for the podcast. Obviously, Couch Potato Diary. We're still going to have like these breakdowns. They're going to be more time sensitive when I can do the streams live again. The breakdowns and everything are still going to be on Couch Potato Diary proper. So if you like your wrestling with your sports, we will have it for you. But if you just want the wrestling, it will be on Living Room Lariats, the new podcast here from the Couch Potato Diary Network. More details to come on that. Follow me on social media, but there's going to be a lot of great wrestling content coming out of that.